Hello and welcome to the first video that we're doing in 2024. Yeah, so please forgive my voice. Like, I really don't know what's up. Like, it was okay. Then just before I started recording, it started acting up. But anyway, before we get into the video, there's just one thing I want to point out. So in case you're new to MySQL, I'm going to link a video down below. That is basically a tutorial that will help you load your CSV onto the MySQL environment. And if you don't have MySQL on your machine and you want to follow along this project using MySQL, on that same tutorial, there's another link on that description that will lead you to another tutorial where you can just follow along and set up MySQL on your machine. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to follow along with any other, whether it's like SQLite, PostgreSQL, it's okay. Like most of the functions that we're going to be using, most of the, should I say, procedures and steps that we're going to be taking are like available on like SQLite, Postgres, and here. Like, yeah, we're not, yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, so yeah, let's get into the video. So today we're going to analyze the Billionaires by Country 2024 dataset. So I got this from Kaggle. It's something that I hope is going to be very short and sweet. So probably, from my point of view, nothing complex. So this is, I'd say, beginner intermediate SQL concepts that we're going to be using here. Yeah, I really want us to just take time and make sure we really understand these various functions in SQL. Yeah. So yeah, let me not talk too much. Yeah, let's get into it. And yeah, my name is Stacey Samoe. I'm a data analyst and I really enjoy sharing my knowledge. Hence this channel, hence this project. And yeah, all the other projects and tutorials that I create on my channel. Okay. So for the first question, we're going to be like finding out how many billionaires exist based on this data set. So remember, this analysis is just for educational purposes. If you want to, you can go ahead and just, do more research and verify the findings here. But this is just for educational purposes. So like now, how many billionaires exist in this data set? So what we're going to do is, number one, count all. Yeah. And what this basically does is just all the rows on this column, on this data set, are going to be counted. Yeah. And the other option is to count and pick one column, and we could count the contents in that column. Yeah. So like now, for example, I'm going to be using billionaires, richest billionaire 2023. Okay, so this is in the wrong place. It should be here. We close, yeah. So yeah, take time to run through this data set, whether it's you want to run through it on Excel or you want to load it here first and run through it here. Either will work. Just take time to go through it and understand what columns are here. So we have the country, region, whether someone is a UN member or not. So like that billionaire, the country they're from, is it a UN member or not? Population density per kilometer. And then we have population density MI. So is it per mile? I really don't know what that stands for, yeah. But yeah, let's run this and see what happens. So as you can see, whether you use count or count the contents of a particular column, we're still getting 72, yeah? So something else that I just want us to verify is, okay, how do we know if these are truly unique values? Like, what if duplicates are there? Yeah? That's where distinct comes in. Yeah, I think we still have that column copy pasted. Yeah, so distinct, name of billionaires. So distinct count, name of billionaires, and then just distinct count. Yeah, so let's run this and see what happens. So what's happening is we're still getting 72 and 72. So what this is telling us is this particular column with the name of all these billionaires has no duplicates. So how the distinct count works is, if you have like 3 Stacies, yeah, distinct won't count Stacy 1, 2, 3. Like as long as Stacy appears, even if it appears 10 times, it's seen as one unique value. But when you're just counting, if Stacy appears 3 times, each appearance of Stacy is going to count. So Stacy 1, Stacy 2, Stacy 3. So if there was Stacy on duplicated here, that means we'd have +2. So the one that's actually, so we'd have +2. So it'll be 74, 42, because there's someone who's duplicated. And that's it for that question. So something that I want to start doing differently is just have a section for solution and be like, we have 72 billionaires. Okay, so I did Control S, Control Save, and notice there's no asterisks because now it's saved, it's updated. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is to find the count and average net worth of the billionaires by region. So how many billionaires are there by region, and what is the average net worth for all these billionaires? So as usual, we start with select. And what are we interested in? We're interested in region. So so this is a very small data set, as I mentioned, but sometimes it's good to just either come and double click here, so you actually pick it from there. Or I don't know why my laptop is not auto picking. Like when I start writing region, I don't know why. I don't know, but so why I'm just emphasizing that is just so that you don't have typos, because sometimes typos can be a headache. Like you can have an error. Like you've built, you've written, and then when you run it, you have an error, and you're just like, like that. I know that feeling, So, and then you go through your long code, and sometimes it's not even obvious, and the error was just like, it was just that you forgot the N in region. Can you imagine? So that's why I recommend that be very careful when you're typing, preferably copy paste, especially for like just names of columns, just copy paste. What I don't recommend copy pasting, especially if you're a beginner, is like functions, like getting the syntax. So I don't recommend copy pasting there. So we're interested in count and we're interested in average. So we're going to count, and we're still going to use the column that has the names of the billionaires. So count, and we're using as and then we want the average total net worth as average net worth. So all this from billionaires by country 2024. So let's run this and see what's going to happen. So we're going to get an error. Let's just think through it, and like what error do you think we're going to get? Okay, now let's run and find out. Okay, so firstly, let me comment this out. So the error we're getting is associated with group by. So just a reminder, anytime you're working with an aggregate function, like you create a column that's aggregated, and then you have a column that's not aggregated. Then an aggregated column has to be in the group by clause. Group by clause. Group by clause. Anyway, you get the point. So like now, if you run this, see, now it's working. And then, so let's use average net worth. So we want to order by 3. Why am I using 3 people? because when you're working with group by or any of this like group by, order by, you can either literally call the column or you can use the placeholder, like position rather. So like, for example, group by 1, it's going to give you the same result because you could either group by 1 or group by region. You could either order by 3 or order by average net worth. Yeah. So, and there we have it. So the only thing is to make this more intuitive. What's wrong with me today? Yeah. Let's order it in descending. So it starts from the highest to the lowest. So as you can see, North America has the highest average net worth, followed by Asia, Europe, Australia, South America, and finally Africa. So let's also just do some data cleaning. So like for example, here, we are going to round this into 2 decimal places. It just looks neater. You can see. So yeah, this is neater. Yeah. So yeah, I guess like what I want you to do next, I just want you to challenge yourself and find the sum, the net worth of the billionaires for 2023. So how do you do that? So yeah, I'd recommend you pause, try, then come we'll do it together. Okay, so we're back now. So what are we going to do? So we want to sum, yeah? And we want to sum the total net worth of these billionaires, yeah? As total. So let's also do some cleaning. That's neater. So notice something, yeah? So North America's average net worth is 40, but its total net worth is 243. So if we're to order by net worth, yeah, which is position 4, North America and Oceania are going to switch. Yeah, there. Not north south. So South America is now above Oceania. Yeah. And I guess this is why, like, as a data analyst, when someone gives you a request, like, it's good to ask questions. I get that when you're still new, you're an entry level, that's like a skill that takes time to pick. But with time, you really understand what I'm saying. But even before you get like that skill set of asking questions, let's just be curious, like be like, oh, you want this? Why? What do you want to use it for? Because when you go into the data, honestly, you never know what you're going to find. You just know you'll find very interesting things. Okay, not interesting, like unexpected things, yeah? And you'll find yourself going back to the stakeholder every now and then. But if from the start, the stakeholder, like you scoped out what they want very well. So they told you what they want and they told you what they want to use it for. So even as you build their query, do their request, and you bump into like things that you didn't expect, you'll know how to deal with them based on the context. So for now, like as a beginner, curiosity. And then you still probably always be curious. And then that skill set of like knowing what questions to ask, you'll see it will build in you and you'll see why it's very important and how it can save on time. Yeah. Okay. So, and that's it for that particular question. So let's go to the third question. So for the third question, so African billionaires, so we want African billionaires net worth as a percentage of the whole world. And then we want to do for other countries too. So for this particular one, we're going to build on what we've done here. Yeah. So my beginners, yeah, still in the early stages of learning, practicing your SQL, please don't copy paste. Redo this, like rebuild this without copy pasting. See what you have. Then once that's done, you come, let's continue. Yeah. So I'm assuming you've paused this video, you've done what you need to do. And yeah, let's get into modifying this. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put this in a CTE. Yeah. So a CTE is basically a temporary table. If you don't know what a CTE is, and you probably find this explanation too rush for you, I have a tutorial dedicated to just explaining what CTEs are, how they work. So you feel free to go and check that out. It's not just CTEs. Like I have a tutorial on like basic SQL, intermediate SQL, still working on the advanced SQL. So I started the Windows function series, but it's still not done. So I'm having challenges with just finding the right data set that will give me like what I want. Like it will give me the form of data that I need rather than need more than want, for me to be able to just explain and elaborate the skills that I want to transfer to you guys. I did a number of courses. We'll get to sit down videos and talk about this, but they did justice because around they got me to where I am. But there are some things that they just never got deep into. And that's one thing I want to do differently on this channel. Yeah. So that's why I'm taking my time, because I really like once that the rest of that Windows function series comes to you, it should be proper. I really don't want to rush anything. So I'm really struggling to get like a data set that can help me teach you guys about like lead and lag especially, and then like row number. So there's a way I use row number, and I've just not found a free data set that will allow me show you guys that. But yeah, push comes to shove, I'll just have to create a data set from scratch, which is like, ugh. But anyway, I know once I create that one data set, or two, like I will repurpose it so much, so that process of creating and thinking through how I want it to look might take a toll on me, but it will be worth it because it will generate way more fruits. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the video. Let's create a CTE. Yeah. So with the data so you'll hear some people call it with statement. So if you ever hear someone say with statement, that's just basically a CTE. Yeah. So if I do select all from data and I run this, yeah, you're just going to get the same table, yeah, because it's a temporary table. So now instead of pulling from billionaires by country 2024, we're pulling from this temporary table that we're calling data, yeah. So now that we have it, what do we want to do? We want to get the percent, like we want to find out Africa among other continents make up what percentage of like all the wealth brought in made by billionaires. Yeah. So here we're going to be using aggregated functions inside a case statement. Again, if case statements new to you, or you've actually it a couple of times, still not very confident in it, my tutorial has got you. Yeah. So yeah, let's start. So here we're going to be summing. Yeah. So sum case when. So something I need to do, I need all these continents, regions, I put them here. So you'll notice it's in text format. Yeah. So I cannot just call North America or Asia or Europe like that. I need to put them in quotes so that SQL, that way the data type is compatible. Yeah. I think I talked a bit, rather a lot, about data types and why they're important in one of my Python tutorials. So yeah, you can go check that out. Like especially just the first few minutes if you're not interested in Python, because the rules are kind of the same. Yeah. So what did I do? What did I do to North America? Why is North America like that? Anyway, it's probably okay. No. Okay, so I have all my continents there. And yeah, so what we want to do is sum case when region supposed to, oh yeah, we're starting with Africa, yeah? Then get the total net worth, yeah? Else 0, and then end. So what this is basically doing is it will come and check, yeah? If you're not North Africa 0, not Africa 0 again, North Africa not 0. I mean not Africa again 0, North Africa 0, North Africa 0, Africa, then it's going to put 90.5. Yeah, and this would actually work. Yeah, this would actually work even without this prior thing. It would just be a bit more messy because we'd have to do, so we'll get the total of Africa across all countries, yeah? It will check every country every time, and that's also a bit expensive in terms of processing time. And then you divide it by like the sum of everyone, yeah? That's also an option, but it's okay. That's just a side note, yeah? So let's see this as total Africa, yeah? Then let's do sum total net worth. So notice, as much as total net worth has already been aggregated up there, yeah? I still have to re-aggregate it here, yeah? Because if you just call it as total net worth, you're going to get an error because technically it's not aggregated, it's a non-aggregated column in this particular CTE. So let's learn that. So as you can see, if you remember, Africa had a total net worth of 90.5, while the total net worth for everyone else is 12.1. Okay, 12,175. Yeah, but we all know this is billion, this is trillion now. Yeah. So to just verify that this is like correct, yeah, let's go up here. So we had this, we can just uncomment it and we add something else. So if we do sum, adds, I think I still have total net worth saved here. And then we highlight this and run this. So as you can see, 12,175, same thing, yeah? So we can comment that out and come back to our calculation down here. So yeah, so ideally the next thing we're supposed to do is actually divide this by sum of the total net worth, yeah? So that's everyone, yeah? So this will be, and then don't forget to do it times 100, so that you get percentage net worth Africa, yeah? So let's run that. So yeah, something else I also want to point out. So Africa is 0 from what the value of all the billionaires in the world, 0.7% of it is from African billionaires. Yeah. So yeah, something else I also want to just point out, it's just a very small thing. So like when after you do your calculation, you have to name the column. So you could do as, like now the name we've given it, percent net worth Africa, or you could just do the calculation and put the net worth there. But my recommendation would be to always put R. It's just good manners, best practice, because sometimes people who are not technical probably don't know SQL, but know Excel and can decide to put into your SQL. Yeah, maybe because you're not available at the moment and they just wanted to clarify something you did. Like someone who actually knows Excel can kind of read through this and understand what's going on. But when you don't follow like best practice, like someone can be a bit confused. They want to be sure that, oh, so the calculation ends here and this is just the name of the column. Yeah. So as much as it will accept it without that, my recommendation would be to always put as, consistency. So you pick one and always do that. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is just copy paste. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are 5 more. But to my people who are still perfecting their craft, please, please, please don't copy paste. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would not recommend you copy paste. My recommendation would be you actually type 1 by 1 and run. As you create each new one, run and see if it's working. Yeah, so that's like very good practice for you to get the syntax. Because honestly, when it took me a while. It took me a while. Like, I remember I used to go back to like my notes, sample code that I've saved somewhere, because I just used to make like very tiny mistake, and it took me like constant practice for me to get to a place where I'm a bit more comfortable with, these tools, be it SQL. Yeah, I use SQL a lot, so let me just say be it SQL. I don't want to go be it SQL, be it Power BI, be it Excel, but yeah, we are even on SQL now, so yeah. So the next thing we're going to do here is just rename this. So like the first one is North America. Asia. Remember, with every new column has, so like between column 1 and column 2, there has to be a comma. Then the last one usually doesn't need a comma. Yeah. So those are just some of the small basic things that if you to go back to my tutorial, we explain all these things. So I hope no one is, if you're here and you're seeing me do things and you're like, why is it like that? What not, etc. Just go and check out my tutorials. Okay, so we can run and save that. So as you can see, North America contributes 40% to the overall the total net worth of all billionaires in the world, followed by Asia. Yeah, and yeah, this is done. So we can actually, we need to save this, but I need to do some cleaning before we save this. Okay, there you go. So this is percent net worth. Okay, so that is done. And I just realized I did not save the other one. So let's comment this out. And then we come back here and comment and run. I uncommented more than what's needed. So no worries, there's really nothing new. I've just gone back to the initial video, the initial question answered. And now let me download that. And this one I'm going to call it average sum net worth. Yes, so we can also comment this out and go to the next question. We don't need this. Okay. So top 5 billionaires regardless of country, region, and net worth here. So we're going to select. So we need the names of the billionaires. And we want to see their net worth. And then we also want to see the country they're from. Why is it not picking country? And then I'm also going to double click here to get region, all this from billionaires by country 2024. Okay, let's just run that. Oh, but we want top 5, so we want to limit by 5. We want top 5, yeah? So let's start by limiting by 5. So what do we get here? So this is giving us, you see, these are just random, yeah? So you have Mukesh Ambani, yeah? I think I said that right. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, so you see, if you don't order this data, someone can be quick to think Mukesh Ambani has the highest net worth, but it's not true. It's actually, it's actually Elon Musk, yeah. And someone can be quick to think, oh my God, Dangote is here, but is he really in the top 5? Yeah. So what you want to do here is order by, so net worth, that's position 2, yeah. Right now we know how to use that and save, okay. So notice this is also weird, like why is the net worth, why has the net worth reduced, like 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and we are seeing something like different, and it's because order by default is ascending, so from the smallest to the largest, yeah. So the billionaire on this list with the lowest net worth in billionaires is worth 1.3, yeah. So ideally you should specify in descending so that it's from the highest to the lowest. So this is more accurate. Notice how Aliko Dangote is no longer here. But Mukesh Ambani is actually still here, okay, as number 3, not number 1. So yeah, so the billionaire with the highest net worth is Elon Musk with 4490. And then, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have someone from Germany, France in the 4th, and then India 3rd, China 2nd, United States 1st. Yeah. And there we have it. We have our billionaire, our top 5 billionaires, their net worth, and then the country and region they are from. Yeah. So we're just going to download this, and this one we're going to call it what? Top billionaires. Okay, so we comment this out and go to our next question. Is there a relationship between the regions with the highest number of billionaires and population growth rate and population density? I'm not really feeling this question anymore, honestly. And we are going to borrow from, actually, let's just write it again, yeah? But we'd have borrowed from question 2, because it's actually not so different from the second question we did, yeah? So let's do select. What are we doing? We are selecting region. Okay, let's just type it. Why it's not picking. Region. And then we are interested in understanding the relationship between the billionaires. So that would be their net worth. And we also want to understand, so net worth with population density and population growth rate, yeah. So so we're picking from our table, which is here. So we can just copy paste. And yeah, so like if we do this, let's just run this. It's just going to give us a list of what's going on, yeah. But we need to aggregate this for us to truly get value, because when it's just like a list of region, the net worth of that billionaire, population density, and population growth rate. Like, yeah, you can't really get much insight from this here. So what we'd do here is get the average for consistency as average net worth. And then we're also going to get average population density as pop density. And then also here, we're going to get the average population as average pop growth. Yeah, so we are doing all this from, ooh, how could I forget group by? But guys, it's normal. Like, so group by 1, or you could group by region, and let's run that and get rid of this error message. So I can clean this up. So we want to round to 2 decimal places. So this is 2, not comma. We round again. It's supposed to have a comma. Can you imagine I've forgotten and we've just done it up here? Yeah, there's a comma. Round. Okay, so let's run this. It should be a bit cleaner. There you go. So we can order by net worth. So that's position 2. And yeah, in descending. So we want to see from the continent to the highest net worth. I'm not seeing any trend, you guys. So average population density. You can't even argue that, like, the continent to the highest, as the net worth reduces, the population density reduces. Not very accurate, because both Asia and Europe have a higher density than North America, and Europe even, so I'm not really seeing any trend, guys. So yeah, this one I'm not going to be saving it for our Power BI exercise, but we can still do Control S, Control Save. And yeah, we are on the last question. So for our last question, we just want to get average net worth by UN member states. Yeah, so we're like, okay, if someone is a UN member versus someone, if a billionaire comes from a country that is a UN member state versus someone who's not from a UN member state, like, what's the difference when it comes to net worth? And depending on what you find, honestly, you can come up with hypotheses as to why what we find is, yeah. So the first thing is, we don't even know if everyone here, like if you do select or from, like, we don't know, maybe in that column, okay, so like if you run this, I need to comment out the top because I'm not using this anymore. So like, yeah, if we run this, like as you can see, most of them here, I'm seeing a few falses, seem to be true, yeah. But if you want to verify, you can just do quick select. Oh my gosh, that's, okay, we are back and no screams, but maybe you couldn't even hear the baby screaming. But it was very distracting for me. But yeah, so if you're not even sure, like what's in this UN member column, yes, what you could do is select distinct, then UN member. Yeah, so run that. And as you can see, we actually do have only two values, true, false. Yeah. So now we can confidently come here, and I should not have deleted UN member value and start with selecting UN member. And then we can do, actually, let's just copy paste this because we already have it here. So we can do both sum and average. Okay, so remember to group by 1. And there you go. So the average net worth for people who are UN members, I'm assuming this is UN, United Nations, I'm not sure, is 171, while the ones that are not is 126. And if you look at the total net worth, so the UN members it's way higher than the non-UN members, hence why the average is better, because yeah, of course it will be way higher because these people are probably more than this guy is. So yeah, we are done. About 40 minutes later, so let's save that. Yeah, about 40 minutes later, which was not bad to just do some SQL. So let's jump onto Power BI and just do some visualization. So we're going to do, anyway, let's get there and see. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to come here and why does this look different? Load our data. So we're going to start with this one. Load. I don't know why this looks different. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. So it's still loading our first data set. So that's the average and the sum net worth. So we just give it some time. It's finishing up. So let's look at the contents of that column. Okay, the next person data set that we are loading is percent net worth. So let's load that to, we give it a few minutes. And then the next one is top billionaires. Let's load that too. And lastly, it's the UN members data. Let's load that too. Okay, we are done. So the first thing I want us to do is just get this text box and which font. Yeah, just pick whatever font you want to use. So we want it in 18. And we're going to name this billionaire. We can bold it. I think we need to highlight and bold it and center align it. So yeah, if you want everything in uppercase, yeah, feel free to adjust it as you wish. So I'm not going to spend much time here, so we're just going to do very basic visuals. So if you by now you probably have noticed that for this particular video, it was more SQL heavy than it is visualization heavy. But one thing I'm going to challenge myself to do this year is create 2 to 3 full Power BI projects. So we load the data, clean the data, do the manipulation, create calculated fields on Power BI and do our visualization. So before the year ends, 2 to 3 of them, guys. So one thing you notice is for this data set, average sum net worth, for some reason then it's not recognizing any of them as calculated fields. And I honestly don't know why, because when I first loaded it, it was showing, now it's not. But yeah, again, just challenging myself to find out why this is happening. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to just take time, look for a nice data set, a topic that I'm probably interested in, or just a data set that clicks with my brain, and we do everything that we've done on SQL here on Power BI and also create the visuals. So since this data set is acting up, I'm just going to focus on the rest, because what is happening here is actually very similar to here. It's just that this is as a percentage, and this gives us the average net worth, which would still give us the same distribution. So we're not going to use this one. So we're going to start with this. So for this, I want to use a tree map here. So we're going to take North America. Okay, so we're just going to click all the continents except the total net worth, of course, yeah. And now we can see North America has the highest, followed by, North America, followed by Asia. Though I know it's not very, like you really have to have a keen eye to notice that North America is smaller than Europe. Then we have South America, Oceania, and Africa, which contributes the least. So we can come here and title and just work on this title. So this title, what can we name it? Percent net worth by continue. We keep, yeah, let's do region for consistency. And we want this in bold, and we want this center aligned. Yep, so that is done. Can come back here. And the next thing that we want to do is just get a view of the top billionaires, yeah? So that's the total, and these are the actual billionaires, yeah? So as you can, so let's just stretch this because there are 5. So as you can see, like unlike tables, like you can quickly see, it's Elon Musk who's the billionaire with the highest net worth, followed by, oh, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Let me attempt the second name, Shan, yeah. And then now you notice Ambani, and then the last 2 almost have the same net worth, but of course this is in order, so you can quickly tell this Bernard and family has more net worth than this guy from Germany. I really don't want to butcher names over here, so I'll just leave it at that. And yeah, the last thing we could visualize, and I want us to use a donut chart, is UN members. So UN members, and then average net worth. So we agreed average net worth is a better measure. And there, so you can see if UN member is true, the net worth is higher than if UN member is false, yeah? So yeah, you can also just, so let me just go back to this and just do some cleaning. I don't mind the title. So, okay, average net worth. So we can do average net worth by UN member status. So we want it bold, we want it center aligned, yeah. And we come here and this one, so this is, what did we use here? Net worth. Of the top 5, institute 5. Also want it in bold, and I want it center aligned, and voila. As I said, we're keeping this short and sweet. So this is billionaire analysis, billionaire net worth analysis. Yeah. So short and sweet. So yeah, this is very basic, very simple. And yeah, my challenge to you guys is think like beyond the questions that we've done together, like think through other questions and practice them. Like in case you get stuck, you can always like Google your way through it, whether it's looking for like a YouTube tutorial to help unblock you, or literally Google. And now you guys even had ChatGPT. Like when I started learning, no ChatGPT, like unblocking yourself was a headache. And yeah, ChatGPT has just made life easier, you guys. So you also have that. So I challenge you guys to just add more questions that you can practice. In case you get stuck, yeah, you can put your comments down, like you can put your blockers. And my recommendation would be for you to find me on LinkedIn. So my name is still Stacy somewhere, and share a screenshot. I don't know if you can share a screenshot in, like I need to see your error. So I need to see your code and see your error. So I don't know if you can find me on LinkedIn, name is the same, Stacy somewhere, and like share your screenshot with me. I'll look through it and like give you pointers. But yeah, just a disclaimer, I can take a while to get back to comments because like this is clearly not my first project. I've done a couple of projects and every now and then I get like questions and comments on this project. So I try my best to get back to them, but it takes me a while and I batch reply to them. So I might sit down like a month later or a month and a half later and just reply to all comments. So some comments that I'll be replying to would be as recent as that day, an hour ago. Some would be a week old, some would be a month old. But it was mainly also because of like the Christmas season. So like December, I didn't post. January back at work, there was a lot to catch up with. So that's why it took that long. But I'm really going to try and reply to comments like every 2 weeks, at most every month. Yeah, unless it's like, a holiday or something, or I'm off, then I'll take longer. So I'm just giving a disclaimer in case I take long. Or else, guys, yeah, that's the end of this video. Again, my challenge to you to just think through more questions, try them, play around with Power BI, and yeah, like stay tuned by subscribing. And yeah, let's see what I bring to you guys again before this month ends. So this month is ending next week. So this might be the only video for this month or not, but for sure as the year goes by, we're going to do more and more videos, and I'm really excited. Like as much as yes, like I feel like we're both getting value from this channel. Like as I've mentioned before, I started learning like the visualization side of data analysis using Tableau. But like this platform has challenged me to like use Power BI more. And I'm really excited about doing a full Power BI project, right from loading the data, cleaning the data, manipulating, coming up with calculated fields, building a dashboard, building an actual dynamic dashboard. Like I've gotten way more comfortable with Power BI ever since we started this channel, this community. And yeah, it's just something that I'm grateful for, and I felt like putting it out there. But yeah, guys, just here to say thank you for staying to this end. I hope you've learned. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, especially the technical questions. I take a while because I literally, the good thing is I put this code in one place, so I don't have to like rewatch the video, but I'll give you my top of head answer, then I'll go back to the code, look through it, and I'll give you a more detailed answer. And those two answers might not come at the same time, so I might give you my quick top of the head question, and for some people it's actually worked. Then I'll go back to the code and give you like a more detailed answer. But please, if you have any blockers, be as specific as you can. And yeah, for just general questions, comments, what kind of content you want to see going forward, niambie, tell me down there in the comments. And yeah, I already mentioned I'm really excited. Like this is the year that we're going to start doing sit down videos, Q1 to Q3. Like Q3 cannot end before we do our first sit down video. It might come before, but for sure I would not let Q3 end before we do our first lot of sit down videos. Otherwise, I really hope you've learned something new. Again, thank you for staying to the end. Feel free to subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. Yeah, like and share with whoever you think might benefit from this. Otherwise, guys, that's the end of this video. Have a lovely day, morning, evening, and see you in the next one. Bye.